Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Let's Talk Yoga podcast. As always, I hope you are doing well. Before we get to today's show, which I am so excited for you to start listening to, I wanted to remind you that I am offering a free sequencing masterclass on November 22nd. This masterclass is for yoga teachers who are teaching asana classes and would like to get a new, fresh, or renewed perspective on how to approach sequencing and make their classes a little more interesting. The sequencing masterclass is on November 22nd. It's free and the sign up link is available only via my newsletter. So make sure you click the link in my bio here on the podcast or just go to my Instagram handle and click the link in my bio there. The next time this link will be available will be in our October newsletter as well as our November newsletter. The newsletter goes out on the 1st or 2nd of every month. Now let's get to today's show. I have always been wondering about emotions in yoga, and also by extension, emotions in Ayurveda. And I wanted to bring you an episode on understanding emotions and emotional health for a long time on this podcast. Dr. Jayarajan Kodikannath is the guest I have today, and I am so excited to bring you his perspective, his knowledge, and his wisdom. He is an internationally renowned Ayurvedic scholar, teacher, educator, and keynote speaker. He is the president of the National Ayurvedic Medical Association, as well as the CEO and chief Ayurvedic consultant of Kerala Ayurveda. He is also the author of The Parent's Complete Guide to Ayurveda, which is an award-winning book. Dr. J is how all of us refer to him. He has taught thousands of students over the years, and a lot of Ayurvedic practitioners and doctors speak very highly of Dr. J's background. He is generous, kind, and absolutely selfless in his pursuit of Ayurveda. And I got to pick his mind a little bit about emotions, emotional health, and Ayurveda. So we dive into a conversation to understand how Ayurveda views these emotions and how they show up in our lives. I hope you listen to this episode and follow Dr. J and all his work. He also talks about the courses he offers at the end of today's episode. I have linked to all of Dr. J's work, his courses, his book, his Kerala Ayurveda, everything in our show notes at letstalk.yoga/listen. I will see you on the other side. But remember, if you enjoy listening to this podcast, please leave us a rating and a review so this podcast can reach other students, other teachers, or anyone looking to learn a little more about yoga and Ayurveda. Hello, Dr. J. Welcome to the Let's Talk Yoga podcast.
Sure. Thank you, Arundhati. I really appreciate the effort you are making to bring this authentic knowledge to the world.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I have been looking forward to this conversation. I'm very fascinated by emotions and Ayurveda, emotions and yoga, but emotions and Ayurveda, emotional health through Ayurveda is something that I've been waiting to bring up with you. So to kick things off, how does Ayurveda view emotions and emotional health and well-being?
Okay. This is a huge topic. So let us try to break it down. Ayurveda is a science that addresses the body, the mind, the spirit, the whole system approach. Where Ayurveda says the mind and body are not two separate units. They are together. Body is influencing mind constantly. Mind is influencing body constantly. And emotion is a big part of how our mind going to function and influence your overall health and life. In fact, I always say that your life depends upon your frame of mind, your emotional health, your mental health, your emotional health. And I have given so many talks around the globe about mind care is life care, where the emotion plays a huge role in how you feel every day, how you are going to influence your health, your life. It's about emotional health is your life. That much importance to emotion. And Ayurveda brings a lot of tools how we can understand this, how we can manage this effectively. So it's a huge area in Ayurveda. about the emotional health, emotional status, it influence on our life.
So emotions are invisible.
Right?
And when we think of Ayurveda, at least the little that I know about Ayurveda, we think of food habits and you are what you eat and what you digest. So since emotions are invisible, how do you gauge somebody's emotional health? How do we know if someone has healthy emotional health? Are there any markers?
Very good question. It's not easy. It's tricky because the human mind is very complex. You can be internally very frustrated and angry, but you can keep a pleasant, smiling pose outside. So if you are, if I ask, are you happy? You seem happy, you are smiling, but you are internal. So that is why we may have to use different tools to understand that, right? So emotions are always about how your mind takes the information coming through all the five senses and the information brought by the mind on its own, that can be from the past, that can be, and how it expresses. So it is the expression of your mind based on the inputs currently receiving or already received, right? The expression. And that expression depends upon who you are. That means how you frame your mind so far with your experience of your life, you invoke a different emotion for the same experience than your friend. So it is not that this will evoke this emotion. It depends upon the individual, right? If you see a cat, you can say, oh, what a cute kitty. And the other, oh, cat, somebody can get scared of cat. It's the same cat. So it is, what is the collection of experience? Your samskaras, what we call the collection of experience, and the vasana, that means the tendencies and affinities you developed over a period of your whole life from the time of birth, and some may be carrying from even from the past, that defines how your emotional response is going to be, right? So some may be able to witness things. Oh, there is something not that pleasant happening. They accept that it is not pleasant, but still they need not get emotional for the same, right? Somebody else, they see this, or they can collapse. So the emotions are very tricky in the sense it's how it is developing in each individual is different. How they express for the same, situation is different. So there is a lot more to it. Your basic self, how your life has been, and your constitution. There are so many factors influencing what emotion you are going to evoke for one experience and how you are going to react to it. And according to that evoking of that emotion and reaction, how it is going to influence your body-mind systems.
I wrote down something. You said it's the experience of the mind, right? It's sorry, the expression of the mind. And to me, it's fascinating. So the doshas, right? Does this mean that some doshas are more emotional in their expression? Like, for example, vata, right? And because of the wind element, would vata be a little more turbulent in their expression? I don't know if I'm framing it. Okay.
So there are three doshas. They are called doshas because they can go out of balance easily. That's why they're called doshas. What are these? Ayurveda says there are only three types of functions happening within the human system as well as the entire cosmos. In the nature, there are only three types of functions. Function number one, the function of integrity, cohesion, and binding, the glue energy, that is kapha. The second function is the transformation or cooking, the fire energy, that's called the pitta, the transformation. And the third energy is the function of dynamism, vibration, the movement, the flow, that's called vata. The correct balance and coordination of these three principles help to sustain balanced health. That means vata that moves, pitta that cooks, kapha that holds together. So if you really look at it, all these three can evoke emotions. Vata will evoke a tendency of evoking Vata's emotion. What is that? That can be, restlessness. That can be fast, quickly they can get affected.
Yes.
And also Ayurveda says there are 4 emotions that can aggravate Vata, or when the Vata is getting aggravated, it can evoke 4 emotions. They are fear, sadness or grief, uncertainty and insecurity. These 4 emotions can invoke Vata and make you restlessness, not able to sleep, no focus, etc. because of the Vata aggravation. Due to some reason, your Vata got aggravated. Without any reason, you can feel fearful.
Yes.
There is nothing to fear, but I don't know. I feel internally fearful. And you can feel sadness without any reason, feeling insecure without any, So there is an influence of the dosha on the emotions very clearly. Since you asked about dosha, now let's finish pitta and kapha. Pitta, the fire, right? The fire. Pitta people, our constitution people, intellectually very strong, to the point, straightforward, but emotionally very sensitive. Big problem they may handle easy, but small problem can disturb them, right? They are perfectionists. They want to see everything in order, everything in time. Any change in the plan is a problem. The primarily evoked emotions in the pitta are anger and frustration. Very easy. If somebody is supposed to come at 2 p.m., if it is 2-1, 2-1, they will never say that, oh, it's only 1 minute, it's okay. No, 2. So when it comes to the emotions, kapha is comparatively an easier dosha. Comparatively an easier dosha. Since they have the stability, the hallmark of kapha dosha is stability, grounding, holding it together. It is not easy for them to, the reaction will not be as sensitive as pitta or as fast as vata. So they can hold or they can witness more things without that reactive emotions coming in. But at the same time, the chance of falling into the dullness is easy. Laziness is easy. Or
are they stubborn?
Non-responsiveness is easy. Stubbornness has 2 meanings. One is, once you are on something, you will not leave without, getting it done. That is more pitta. That stubbornness comes from pitta.
Okay.
They want to get things done.
Fair.
Kaphas are a little bit easygoing comparatively. See, all the doshas have a direct impact on the emotions. And that is why we always say that when you have the balance in these principles, even you can see your emotions are getting better. In our practice, we see people, now I'm better. I'm not getting that emotional, right? And there are many other factors, hormones and emotions, right? Your gut and emotions. So many factors are influencing our mind. And mind means there is an emotional side of the mind, there is an intellectual side of the mind, right? An aspect of the mind that works with the brain, more profit and loss and calculations, the intellectual mind. The other aspect of the mind works with the heart, that is more the emotional mind, right? So, yeah, the unconditional love and the compassion and care coming from the heart, that is more the emotions invoked by more of a grounded, balanced self. Right?
So, do emotions affect the body first? Do they affect the mind, or is there no such thing? Like it can affect anything?
Emotions are an aspect of the mind, right? The emotional mind. That means emotions are primarily expressed from the mind, right? It may be influenced by the body, but it can express only in the mind. Fair. Then once it expresses in the mind, it can influence the mind as well as the body. So the answer is, the emotions are invoked in the mind, but that the reason for invoking that emotion can be bodily or mental.
Understood.
Once the emotion is evoked, it can influence both body and mind. Depends upon what type of emotion it is, intensity of emotion. Sometimes certain emotion can break you down completely.
Yes.
Sometimes you feel it without any external expression, you may be able to manage it. So,
yeah, to me, it's fascinating. I don't know how you manage to all these moving pieces, right? So in Ayurveda, do you see some emotions as more harmful than others? Like if someone comes with, and I'm just saying this, anger, for example, right? Would that do more damage to the body and the mind versus somebody who comes to you with, say, anxiety?
it depends. It depends. There is no one answer that this emotion is the most dangerous.
Okay.
Every emotion, when it goes to, it's always about threshold. Okay. If 30 students are attending one exam, and in that, 21 failed the exam, right? They didn't get. Out of that, 7 may get into depression. Another 7 may get into anxiety and restlessness. The other 7 may, it is sad that I lost the exam, but it's okay. I'm going to write next time and get it. Same exam, same classroom, but according to the individual, the different emotions can be evoked. So it depends who is, the individual. And sometimes even, many a time we always classify emotions into, these are all positive emotions and these are all negative emotions. Nothing like that.
Yes.
Even an excess of positive emotion can be dangerous.
Yes.
Overjoy can also aggravate doshas.
Yes, because in yoga also we say, right, you're not running towards joy, happiness. You're not running away from pain and sadness. You're in the middle. And whatever is coming toward, it's moving through you and it's not moving you or shake. Yeah. So
Ayurveda says harsha or overjoy can even cause cardiac arrest. Joy, overjoy. It is same as your fears, intense fear or intense loss can cause a heart attack, and overjoy can also cause heart attack because it's a surge of emotional energy. Yes.
So does prana affect your emotional health or the imbalance or blockage of prana and the different types of prana? On the show, we've spoken about different types of prana. So does prana...
But I think I need to still reframe the prana from an
yes, absolutely.
an Ayurvedic lens.
Yes, absolutely.
Because prana is a word that is explained from different contexts.
Yes.
There is a physical prana, that is our vital breath. There is a subtle prana, that is the pranic energy, the Pancha Pranas.
Yes.
That is flowing through the 72,000 nadis in the system. It is in the subtle body.
Yes.
Then there is a unitary prana, that is in the causal body or the conscious self. When we are in a deepest meditation, our self connecting to the cosmic self through a causal channel, that is called unitary prana. Okay, so the physical body, the vital breath, the subtle body, the Pancha Pranas, and the unitary prana. So now, of course, breath can influence the emotions.
Yes.
Of course, the Pancha Pranas, it is nothing. Pranas, according to Ayurveda, is the subtle expression of the vata. It is the energy of flow, energy of vibration, right? So definitely the subtle prana can also cause that. The unitary prana in the deepest state of meditation, that brings the bliss, right? The contentment, that is considered as the most pure and most balanced state of emotion. You are in a bliss, but a contented bliss. You feel completely satisfied. You are in joy. It is not the overjoy which causes cardiac problem. Very grounding, stabilizing joy that come from the unitary prana.
A moment ago, you spoke about depression. You mentioned depression. What is Ayurveda's view and understanding of depression?
Okay. I may have to talk a little bit on the three gunas here to help you understand from an Ayurvedic lens. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, very common discussions these days, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sattva stands for the clarity, the purity, the most balanced state, all positive about Sattva.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas one side, one extreme is the Rajas, the activity and intensity.
Mm-hmm.
Opposite extreme is the Tamas, the inertia, lethargy, and the dullness. Generally, these three gunas are discussed in a triangular way, and that is not true according to Ayurveda. It is a straight line. The middle is the Sattva.
Yes.
One extreme Rajas, the opposite extreme Tamas.
Okay.
That means whenever you are reducing the Tamas, you are moving towards Sattva. Whenever you are reducing the Rajas, you are also moving Sattva. Sattva is at the center. There is nothing in this cosmos, just only Sattva, just only Rajas, or only Tamas. Anything that exists has all the three gunas. That is why the creative consciousness, Brahma, you will see three heads. Anything that exists has all the three gunas. When Sattva is prominent than Rajas and Tamas, you can say, oh, Sattvic. It's a comparative statement. Even while discussing the five elements, Vagbhara says, Sattva Bahula Makasham. Even space is not just only Sattva, but Sattva predominant. Even though it is clear and pure, it is not completely Sattva. Now, coming to your question about depression, the Sattvic state is the one which we need to nurture. Why? Because it's a balanced state. It is not favoring any one side. Balanced, clean, pure state of mind. Able to see things in the right way. Able to understand, accept things in the right way. That is an ideal state. Ideal state are not always common, right? Whereas, let us say your tamas is invoked. Tamas has the dullness, the heaviness, the inertia. In the condition called depression, you will see more tamas involvement.
Yes.
But not always pure tamas. Because even within depression, there is a total dull depression. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to say anything. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Total isolation, that comes under the primarily tamas. But there are depressions with restlessness. Sometimes it can be primarily kapha associated with the vata. Okay. There is depression, but restlessness also. On the other end is vata and pitta, right? Vata makes the mind restless.
Yes.
And pitta makes the mind sensitive and intense. So vata and pitta together can invoke the rajas. That can make the mind more restless, more fearful, more uncertain, or anger, frustration. That is more rajasic emotions. So the vata pitta invoked emotions: fear, uncertainty, insecurity, sadness or grief, anger, frustration. These all come under the rajasic prominent emotions. Whereas the dullness, the depressive state, the lazy state, depressive state are more coming under the tamasic side of the emotions.
So to move from that tamasic state, don't you need some amount of rajas?
Of course, definitely. Because moving from dullness means you need to cut that heaviness. You need to cut that static nature. Some stimulation is required. What can make something flowing? Either movement or heat. Heat will melt the dullness and heaviness and make it flow. Right? So that is why you need some rajas sometimes to cut the dullness of your tamas. I get always this question in classes that, we heard that garlic is having rajasic gunas or tamasic gunas, and Ayurveda uses it and how that is. Then I always say that there is nothing totally good, totally bad. It's all contextual.
Yes.
Right? Whenever there is blockage and heaviness and clogging, of course, you need heat there to dilate. You need the movement there to pull it, to open it up. So there is nothing totally negative, totally positive. It's all relative based on the context.
Fair, fair. So for anyone listening, right? Um, how can we practice better emotional health, right? I know coming and sitting down with someone like you will get a full, deep analysis and practices. But what would be, say, the approach? Is it through ahara? Is it where would one start? Would it be food? Would it be lifestyle? Would it be visiting, say, an Ayurvedic doctor? Where does one start?
Okay. So before getting into what to do, let me also give you another perspective. Any emotion can affect you more, or your mind may evoke that expression much more based on the strength of your mind. We call it as manobalam, strength of the mind. Measuring strength of the body is very easy. You can ask somebody to lift it or something, stretch it, and you can.
True.
But how you measure the strength of the mind? Ayurveda gives two tools.
Okay.
One, tolerance to pain.
Okay.
Those who can handle physical, mental, emotional pain without affecting you, they have more mental strength. That is one, the tolerance to pain. Second is the confidence and the determination what they show you. That is an indication of, yes, I can do it. That means there is a strength coming from the mind. Have you seen people, everything is a problem for them?
Yes.
Oh, you need to take some bitter. Oh, bitter, I can't take it.
Yeah.
You need to apply some. No, I can't.
No, I cannot apply.
Everything is a problem.
Yes.
In Ayurveda, there is a particular word for such people that called sukumaras.
Sukumara, okay.
My English translation of sukumara is delicate darlings.
Okay.
So that means your ability to withstand any stimulus is minimal. So you can get emotional very easily, any emotion. You can get angry very easily. You can get, sadness very easily. So the strength of the mind. That is why Ayurveda says, if you want to help an individual to manage their emotions, stabilize their emotions, make them stronger, make their mind more stronger. That is where the real, approach of yoga. In fact, that is a reason for the genesis of yoga, right? So you are able to take things with a balanced state.
True.
Where you are not getting emotional for anything. If something is scary, you understand that, but minimally you are getting affected because you have the stability to withstand. So that comes from the whole practice of yoga is aimed towards ability to witness things without getting affected by anything in what you witness. Whether it is great to witness or sad to witness or horrible to witness. You are able to witness and take necessary actions without affecting you. That is a journey. Right?
I really like this perspective of strengthen your mind.
Exactly.
Because it is very grounding.
Yes.
And it is, I see it as a huge endorsement for yoga from you.
Exactly. Of course. Ayurveda and yoga are the sister sciences from the Vedic tradition. According to me, both of those sciences are the multidimensional approach for complete health and well-being. Ayurveda with Ayurvedic nutrition, herbs, Ayurvedic purification, rejuvenation, strengthen and stabilize the body and help the mind through that process. Whereas yoga through the Ashtanga Yoga, the 8 limbs of yoga, aligns the mind completely and supports the body. So that is the perfect marriage, right? For total well-being. Now you asked me about the tools one can use, from where to start. There is no one, first starting or another one to start last. The more tools you use, the better for you.
Okay.
Right? There's nothing. First, you correct your diet for 3 months. Then you correct your exercise for another 3 months. Third, you correct your sleep for... No. You incorporate all the tools available the best way possible. for some people, due to inevitable life limitations, there can be challenges to implement some of the tools in a perfect way. But who is asking perfection from us? This is life. You face the real life according to your life situation. Use the tools the best way possible.
Fair.
What are the tools available? Ayurveda says any human being has only primarily two tools available to help themselves, physically, mentally, emotionally. Two primary tools for healing, well-being, sustenance of health and longevity.
Food and
managing the inputs and managing the lifestyle. What are the inputs in our life? There are only 4 inputs in our whole life. From birth till death, only 4 inputs.
Okay.
Food, water, breath, and perceptions.
Perception. Okay.
These are all ahara input. What you take in is called ahara, the inputs. Food, water, breath, and perceptions. Perception is all about how you take all the information coming through the 5 senses, through your sense organs, and from your memory, and how you react to it is called perception. Right? So that is one tool. Second is lifestyle. Lifestyle means what you do on an average day-to-day basis. When are you sleeping? When are you getting up? Your nature of job, your activities, habits, practices, rituals. All these are valuable tools if one can incorporate the best way possible. And that is, not only for about emotions, it's the life care, it is the health care is in these tools available to you, which you do every day. It is not Ayurveda is asking you to do something else. Whatever you are doing through these inputs and lifestyle, try to do in the right way based on who you are. What are your strength and weakness? How your emotion expresses, how your mind behaves. Accordingly, you use these tools. So everything is a valuable tool.
So I like how you said who wants to do it perfectly, right? So watch what's going into you, monitor that, adjust it as needed, out things that are too much. And we forget how much of an influence this has, this constant feeding of our senses, right? That constant, it's never ending. So how does one know that they are making progress? Are they supposed to be moving towards that sattvic experiences? Because some people don't know what sattvic experience feels like.
Okay. All right. So your question is how you know that you are moving towards?
How do you know, you're making progress? How do you know you're moving towards healthier emotion?
So it will be evident in your own life expressions. There's no 1 meter you can press every 1 week to check like your blood sugar. It's your own. You will be able to feel that how you are able to take things better now these days. How you are able to express things your family will tell you, you are not that emotional. I am surprised. I want to check. Thank you. You are not getting angry with me that much. Your kids may say that you're not that emotional, mom, as usually. What are you doing? You will start feeling, your surroundings start feeling that. Family, friends, colleagues, etc. And it's a journey, right?
It is.
It's a journey. First of all, you need to accept where you are. Don't find fault with you. I'm bad. I'm not good. Nothing. You are as good as you are currently today. Then you start the journey. You create a journey for you. Nobody can turn 180 degrees in one day. You create a journey. Today, I am in this way and I want to get here. This is my goal for me. And I'm going to use all the tools and see how step by step I move. And all journey is different. You may reach a point in 6 months. Somebody else will go in 3 months. Some will take a little bit more time. It's all individual journey.
Yes. I have one more question for you. And
please.
It just came into my mind. So most often we feel trapped when we interact with others, like others invoke the difficult side or are difficult with us and we react to them. So do you have anything to say about when it comes to interacting with others? You are trying to be peaceful, you're trying to be kind, compassionate, embody all the more sattvic type of, I'm calling it sattvic type of emotions. But what you're getting from others is different. So how would you make peace with that type of a situation?
So there are two options you have. One, you say that I am who I am. I need to find happiness about how I am thinking, what I am doing, and how I am expressing. And if somebody else is expressing something to me, it is their perspective, right? I always say that your happiness should not be from somebody else's endorsement. Your happiness should come from you, how you are doing things. If you are clear and happy about what you have done, everybody can say anything they want because they are looking through their lens. So you are understanding that other people are looking through their lens. If they see that in a distorted way, it's not my problem.
Yes.
It's not my problem. It is their problem. But in our day-to-day life, it's not easy for you to think in that way and accept in that way unless and until you really nurture the sattva within you.
Oh, beautiful.
The ability to witness. Right?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
No, this is, it's very helpful because I've always felt, even in yoga, right? It's not like one size fits all answer. Some things work for everybody. Certain type of breathing will work in most conditions. But I feel like emotions is another layer of subtlety.
Definitely.
So I'm really glad that you took the time to come and break this down. I know there is so much more to go into.
So much more. Mind is very tricky.
And I would love to have you back someday, understand the mind through Ayurveda and the Ayurvedic approach a lot more.
Of course, that would be my pleasure, because in my life I don't have any other area, no distractions. I'm here for the Vedic sciences. I'm a Vaidya and I love teaching. So I would be very, very happy to share knowledge.
Oh, wonderful. I could listen to you talk about Ayurveda all day. But can you tell the listeners where they can connect with you? Because you have such a huge volume of work, right? So where can they connect with you, learn from you, and get access to all that you have created?
Sure. I am the Academy Director of Kerala Ayurveda Academy in the US. And we do various programs. We have a free program for people building awareness. We have small web-based programs. We have a master workshop on Ayurveda. We have certification programs starting from Ayurvedic life coach, 6 months to 1 year of Ayurvedic health counselor, 1.5 years of Ayurvedic practitioner, and 2.5 years beyond that, then even the advanced clinical specialist. So I would suggest you to visit keralaayurveda.us. That is our website. And we provide all detailed information in that website. That would be great. Or those who are interested to reach out through phone, there is a common number. It is 888-275-9103. Extension 1 is for academy inquiries, the educational inquiries. So that would be another area to that.
Wonderful. I will make sure to link all of this in the show notes. I have met a few students of yours here locally. They speak so highly of you. Someday, I hope to be in all these courses with you.
That would be great.
But until then, thank you so much for being here. And I hope you come back and we'll get a little more nerdy about Ayurveda. Thank you.
Sure, definitely. I very much appreciate all the effort, because it's so important, right? Building the awareness is the way for more people to get access to this wonderful knowledge. This is self-empowering. Ayurveda and yoga are self-empowering sciences. Ayurveda is not telling you go to a doctor to be healthy or to a hospital to be healthy. Healer is within you, and nature has all the resources to heal.
Mhm.
70% of your healing is in your kitchen cabinet and kitchen garden. So
Mhm.
it's a very self-empowering science.
Mhm.
And everybody should know about Ayurveda and yoga
Mhm.
and should be a part of their life.
I am so glad that you do what you do, and I really will take home how you said you are a Vaidya. This is what you do. I sometimes say all I know is this little yoga. This is all I'm going to do. So it really warms my heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
As always, thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, please remember to leave us a rating, a review. I will see you next week with another guest, another conversation. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.